Hello, dear friends. Today I bring you a very special episode, one where love is written with the simplest things. An old motorcycle, a smile, and a journey that warms the heart. After many days living in peace in their small home, Jay decided to do something very meaningful for Huynh so she could feel safer, stronger. And so, that afternoon under the fresh air after the rain, an image occurred that moved everyone. Huynh took the handlebars of Jay's old motorcycle and went out into the street to pick up Maya. But this is not just a story about learning to drive. It is a journey of trust, love, and growth. Every glance, every smile, every raindrop became a witness to that simple happiness. And how will Maya react when she sees her mom coming to pick her up by surprise? And Huynh, that woman who was once so fragile, how will she feel upon finally achieving something so small yet so grand at the same time? Stay until the end of the video to feel this beautiful moment with us. And don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next part of this story. Under the gentle rain and icy wind, the dirt road in front of the house was all slippery. Jay parked the old motorcycle under the eaves, checked the brakes, and adjusted the waterproof tarp. In the kitchen, Huynh was buttoning Maya's sweater while smiling and blowing warm air on her small hands. "Daughter, eat another piece of egg to warm up," said Huynh, placing a steaming bowl of porridge in front of Maya. "Yes, today I'm not afraid of the rain. I have my pink raincoat," replied Maya excitedly, showing off her rain cape decorated with pumpkin flowers. Jay also brought a cup of hot milk in his deep but gentle voice. "Today Mom and Dad are taking you to school. It's a special day, Captain Maya. Let's go." The girl raised her hand in a military salute, making both of them laugh. After eating, Jay wrapped the scarf around Huynh, carefully put on her raincoat, and lifted Maya onto the front seat. The old motorcycle's engine roared lightly. The yellow light cut through the light rain. The village road was wet. The bamboos on both sides bent in the wind. Jay gripped the handlebars firmly, leaning his body to shield Huynh from the wind that hit her. She rested her head on his back, feeling the steady heartbeat under the wet clothes, and suddenly she was flooded with a strange peace. The primary school gate appeared through the mist. The red brick courtyard glistened with water. Groups of children ran toward their classrooms. Jay stopped the motorcycle, removed the mesh helmet, and gently wiped the raindrops from her forehead. Huynh knelt to adjust her daughter's backpack strap. "Maya, go straight to class, okay? I'll pick you up this afternoon, all right?" said Huynh, caressing her daughter's cheek. The girl pressed her lips together, looking at her mother longer than usual. "Yes, goodbye, Mom. And bye, Dad," she said in a soft voice, as if the wind were listening. Then Maya ran toward the classroom door, and at the last step, she turned, waved once more, and her ponytail disappeared behind the blue frame. Jay placed the helmet on Huynh's head. He spoke softly. "Let's go with you a little longer. Today I want to do something for you." "For me?" asked Huynh with wide eyes. "Yes, a surprise." He smiled. His dark eyes sparkled with emotion. They started off again. This time he turned toward a street in the village. The rain was heavier, pounding the shiny signs. The jingle of mobiles in the shop awnings. He stopped in front of a boutique with a window full of white dresses. The warm light illuminated the lace and pearls that sparkled. Huynh stood motionless. "Why did you bring me here?" Jay scratched his head, a bit embarrassed. "I wanted us to try on wedding dresses. Take a souvenir photo. We've been through so many rains and storms. I want a photo to remember this quiet day." Huynh's throat tightened. Memories of nights on guard, missed appointments, held back tears came flooding back. Then the memory of the nighttime rain in the health center hallway, the nighttime porridge. She inhaled deeply and, between a smile and a tear, replied, "Yes." The shop owner appeared, bright as the sun. "Oh, how nice that you came in this rain. It must be fate. I have some light models that enhance the figure. Perfect for a souvenir photo. Try this size." The fitting room smelled of new fabric and polished wood. Huynh stood in front of the mirror, touching the soft lace. The white dress was simple. Square neckline, mid-length sleeves. The waist was slightly marked, and the skirt brushed her ankles. The light reflected small beads like raindrops on a flower. She turned and, for a moment, was surprised by her reflection. Not because of the dress, but because her eyes had already changed. Now they were calm and clear. Outside, Jay waited with his hands clasped. When the fitting room curtain opened, he was speechless. "Beautiful, so beautiful," he said almost breathlessly, not daring to blink, as if the moment might vanish in an instant. "Don't look at me so much," joked Huynh, blushing. "It embarrasses me." "I was just saving the moment," replied Jay sincerely, "so that when it rains hard again, I'll have somewhere to hold on to." The shop owner laughed, offering a fine pashmina. "Here, so you'll be warmer. It's cold." She also gave Jay a white shirt and a simple gray vest. He changed quickly. When they came out, they looked at each other in the mirror, not ostentatious, not flashy, a man with calloused hands and a woman whose gaze had once cried a lot and now smiled. That was enough to make someone's heart tighten. "Shall we take the photo?" asked Huynh. "Yes," nodded Jay. The owner prepared a corner with a white background, a large half-open window to let in natural light. Beside it, a pale pink bougainvillea, the same shade as Huynh's phone case. The tinkling of the rain outside was the perfect soundtrack. Jay leaned slightly and extended his hand. Huynh placed hers in it. The palm warmed little by little. The camera was raised. "Look at each other," said the photographer softly. "Don't look at the lens. Look at the person you want to walk the remaining path with." They looked into each other's eyes. In Huynh's were Maya, the house eaves, the row of morning pumpkins. In Jay's were the nighttime porridge bowl, the doctor's words, the promise never to let her be afraid again. Click. A small sound. Then another, and he brushed his forehead against Huynh's wet hair. Another one. Huynh placed her hand on his belly and smiled faintly. Click, click. "Done," said the photographer joyfully. "What a beautiful photo. Keep it in your wallet, and it will warm you all winter." Jay leaned down, pulled a small box from his raincoat, not a diamond ring, just 2 thin silver bands engraved with wood-like veins. Huynh swallowed hard. "I don't know how to say anything very formal, but I know how to do. I can cook porridge, carry you in the rain, fix the leaking roof, plant more pumpkins, teach Maya a new song. And I want from today on, when someone asks, to be able to smile and say, 'This is my home. Will you put on the ring with me?'" Huynh brought her hand to her mouth. Warm tears welled up. She nodded without a word. Jay slipped on the ring. His hand trembled so much that it almost fell. She laughed through tears. "Slowly, dear. Now we have all the time in the world." The shop owner clapped softly, her eyes shining. "Wow, with this rain, the shop feels like a sunny day." They took a few more photos by the window with raindrops on the glass. Beside the bougainvillea, Huynh leaning on Jay's shoulder, her small arm around it. And the last one, Jay took Huynh's pink phone, set it on a wooden tripod. Click. A photo with the gift he bought on a rainy day that now held another rainy day, but with a radiant heart. As they changed, they stood under the shop's eaves watching the rain fall in threads. Jay opened his raincoat to cover Huynh. He adjusted the hood. "Let's go. This afternoon we'll pick up Maya," he said and smiled. "You know, maybe tonight the little one." "Of course," replied Huynh, lightly touching the ring. "But tonight's photo will smell of kitchen and daughter's laughter." The old motorcycle started again, leaping into the rain like crossing a thin curtain. Their 2 bodies drew closer. The rain cape fluttered in the wind. The way back shone under puddles of light. The rain kept falling, the cold kept cutting, but between their chests there was a warm spark enough to heat the whole season. In the afternoon, surely Maya will run to the door and shout, "Mom! Dad!" And maybe tonight, under their pumpkin vine, they'll take another photo, this time the 3 of them, like a small ritual for a new chapter. Nothing ostentatious, nothing loud, just a very soft click, but one that will hold an entire lifetime. It kept raining. The small drops fell on the old roof, mixing with the whistle of the wind passing through the door cracks. It sounded like a deep winter melody. The little house hid in the white mist, but inside, the yellow, warm light of the stove fire glowed, along with a quiet smile. On the wooden table, Huynh carefully wiped the photos taken at the wedding dress shop. She looked at them in silence with soft happiness reflected in her eyes. "Look," she said softly, moved. "This photo is so beautiful. If Maya were in the middle, it would be perfect." Jay looked up from the corner where he was measuring some boards. He smiled. "Yes, when the sun comes out tomorrow, we'll take another with her. The three of us under the pumpkin vine, like the other time." Outside, the rain was still heavy. The field wind slipped through the door, icy. Huynh shivered a little and looked at him. Seeing her like that, Jay set the tool aside and said softly, "I need to make another door so the wind doesn't come in. You coughed a lot last night." He went to the fire with the remaining boards. They were old, with worn edges, but dry. He stacked them neatly. The sound of the drill and saw mixed with the constant patter of rain in the yard. Sitting by the stove, Huynh chopped onion, washed rice, and prepared a pot of meat soup. The smell of fresh rice and ground meat mixed with the wood smoke, filling the small space. From time to time, she looked up at that focused man with the worn shirt on his shoulders and surprisingly skilled rough hands. The boards joined one by one, secured with nails. The hammer's thud sounded steady amid the wind, like a rhythm of calm. "Can you do it alone?" asked Huynh while stirring the soup. "Of course," he replied without looking up. "I'm used to this. Leave it to me. You always take care of everything, even what should be mine," she said softly, smiling. "But I like the way you take care of things." Soon after, the aroma of rice filled the whole house. Huynh turned off the fire, placed the pot on the table, and sprinkled a bit of pepper, onion, and some ginger slices. Jay looked at him wiping sweat with his sleeve. "Finished." "Yes, look," he replied, stepping back. In front of them, the new wooden door, simple but sturdy, with no gaps for the wind to slip through. The firelight reflected on the surface like warm skin. "It's beautiful," said Huynh with shining eyes. "Are you really the man of this home?" Jay sat by the fire with his hands extended toward the flame. "On rainy days like this," he said softly, "just hearing the fire and seeing you cook already makes me feel at home." Huynh served a bowl of soup. The steam rose slowly. "Try it. I made it like your mother taught me." He tasted a spoonful and smiled tenderly. "Yes, it has the taste of home. Salty, sweet, and spicy in just the right measure, like our life." Outside, the rain began to ease. The drops falling from the roof into the jug marked a steady rhythm like a heartbeat. In the small kitchen, the two sat side by side, letting the warmth envelop them. On the table, the photos lay spread out. One showed Huynh in the white dress, hand on her belly, eyes shining like at the beginning of love. Jay picked one up and turned it between his fingers. "I want to frame these photos," he said, "and hang them on the wall next to where Maya learns to write, so she sees them every day and knows this is her real home." Huynh looked up at him. The fire's reflection glowed in her eyes. "You always think beyond what I see," she whispered. "It's not thinking far," he replied softly. "I just want to keep all the small things, because for me, those small things are already the greatest." The wind outside died down. The rain fell more slowly. Huynh leaned her shoulder on him and murmured, "Jay, I think we don't need anything more. Having someone beside you when the rain comes and a hot pot of soup like this is enough." He didn't reply. He just took her hand. It was a rough but firm hand that squeezed hers gently, like a silent promise between them that, no matter how many seasons pass in their house, it will remain warm. And out there, though it was still raining, inside that small kitchen, happiness had already simmered slowly, like the soup that had just rested. That afternoon, the rain had stopped. Only thin rays of sun pierced the gray clouds, illuminating the still wet alley. The air was fresh with the smell of wet earth, mixed with the scent of the new wood from the door Jay had installed that morning, making the house seem even warmer. In the yard, Huynh busied herself with Jay's old motorcycle, the same one that had accompanied him through so many storms, now shiny and clean. She put on the helmet with a bit of nervousness, her hands trembling as she took the handlebars. Jay stood beside her, smiling tenderly, with a look full of pride and affection. "Go carefully." "Yes, I trust you." Hwin looked at him amused, her voice mixing with the afternoon breeze. "Do you really trust me? Today I'm going to pick up Maya alone. Don't worry." Jay pushed the motorcycle to the center of the yard with his hand still on the seat, as if sending his trust with every turn of the wheel. Hwin accelerated gently. The old engine roared with that hoarse, familiar sound. The motorcycle vibrated and moved slowly down the alley, splashing a few drops from the banana leaves. "Jay!" she shouted, turning her head with a joyful voice. "It's incredible! I'm doing it." He laughed and raised his hand to wave. "Go. Come back soon, both of you. It's going to get cool." The village road still had a veil of mist, and the puddles reflected the sunset sky. Hwin drove slowly. Her heart raced like a child learning to ride a bike for the first time. The wind brushed her face, tousling some strands. That mix of fear, joy, and freedom made her smile the whole way. Upon reaching the school, the drum sound announced the end of classes. The children came out in groups, laughing and running. Hwin parked the motorcycle under an eave, left it steady, and walked quickly to the classroom. Maya was putting away her notebooks when she saw her mother and opened her eyes wide in surprise. "Mom." "Hwin, you came to pick me up today." She knelt and stroked her hair, still with some chalk on it. "Uncle Jay is waiting for us at home today. Mom came on her motorcycle to get you." Maya's eyes lit up. "Really? Mom drove Uncle Jay's motorcycle. You know how to ride now. I can't believe it." "Believe it, my little lady," said Hwin with a mix of pride and sweetness. "Come on, get on. Today I'll take you." The girl ran to the yard with a bright smile. Hwin helped her up, adjusted the backpack straps, and warned, "Sit still and don't move." "Okay." "Yes, Mom promised," replied Maya excitedly, hugging her around the waist. The engine started again. A bit of smoke mixed with the fresh afternoon air. The school gate faded behind them. Maya rested her head on her mother's back, breathing in that familiar smell of cloth, sun, and wood smoke. "Mom, you drive super!" she shouted joyfully. "I've practiced a lot," replied Hwin with cheeks flushed by the wind. "Now I can take you to the market, the park, or pick you up every day." The village road stretched before them, with bamboos on both sides shining from the water. The old engine mixed with the cricket song and the whisper of leaves that seemed to applaud. Maya laughed non-stop and sometimes shouted, "Faster, Mom! I like how the wind goes through my hair." "None of that, Captain Maya," replied Hwin, pretending a serious voice. "The little soldier behaves." The two burst into laughter that got lost in the wind, warming the cool afternoon air. Upon reaching the alley, from afar, Jay was waiting under the eaves with arms crossed and a serene smile. When he saw the motorcycle approaching, his eyes sparkled. Maya jumped off the seat before the engine stopped and ran to him. "Uncle, Mom drives great. She wasn't scared, didn't fall. We even went through some puddles." He stroked her hair and looked at Hwin with pride and tenderness. "I told you. I knew you could do it." Hwin put her foot down, took off the helmet, and let the wind tousle her hair. She smiled radiantly. "Yes, I did it. Thank you for believing in me." A final gust of wind passed, bringing the smell of stove smoke and the roof drip. Maya ran inside the house, her laughter filling the small yard. Jay approached slowly, took Hwin's hand, and whispered, "See, step by step, everything arrives." Hwin nodded with eyes shining under the sunset light. "As long as you're here, I'm not afraid." And when the last ray of sun fell on the roof, their laughter echoed warm and clear, as real as the love they had rebuilt together in the middle of a season of rain and cold.